Family Violence, Chapter 9, Abuse of Heterosexual Partners, Primarily Males. This is a narrated version of this chapter PowerPoint, which highlights information discussed in the textbook. Male-to-female intimate partner violence, MFIPV, issues discussed in your textbook. Socio-demographic characteristics of batterers include age, gender, race, and socioeconomic diversity. Definitions of intimate partner violence and abuse issues include comprehensive government-crafted decisions, defining MFIPV through factor analysis, and patterns of IPV. Estimates of intimate partner violence issues discussed by your textbook: homicide, suicides, familicides, sexual assault, including narrow definition and sample estimates, psychological emotional abuse of intimate partners. Issues include controlling behaviors, powerlessness, need for power, control, and dominance, and economic exploitation. Non-lethal assault estimates include Department of Justice, the National Crime Victim Survey, National Violence Against Women, and National Incidence-Based Reporting System. Attitudes and classification of batterers. Issues discussed by your textbook include society's attitudes toward batterers, batterers' attribution for male to female intimate partner violence, and Johnson's violent couple categories, including gender dissimilarities. Individual differences, traits, between batterers and others. Issues discussed by your textbook include commonly identified characteristics of male batterers, denial and minimization, anger, hostility, and intermittent explosive disorder, IED, including multidimensional concept according to the DSM-4TR, anger as a motive for IPV, classifying angry, MFIPV, hostility and partner violence, and intermittent explosive disorder. Depression, self-esteem, guilt, shame, and humiliation, lack of awareness and autonomy, empathy, attachment difficulties and emotional dependence, including emotional dependency, attachment in IPV, and predicting IPV. Jealousy includes jealousy as a trait, operationalization and research methodology, jealousy and gender, reactive, normal, anxious and possessive jealousy, relationship implications of jealousy, jealousy and relationship quality, and jealousy and homicide. Marital dissatisfaction and satisfaction issues include marital dissatisfaction and MFIPV, and correlation of marital satisfaction with other traits. Attitudes and classification of batterers. Becoming and remaining a batterer. Causes of MFIPV. Issues discussed include socialization, including childhood socialization, childhood abuse, exposure to interparental violence, childhood attachment, childhood trauma, male gender socialization attitude and beliefs, masculinity and femininity, approval of aggression, and entitlement. Verbal skills and communication skills addressed include assertion deficits, misperception of communication, problem solving among MFIPV perpetrators. Alcohol and drug abuse battering issues include alcohol and MFIPV, explaining the alcohol abuse male partner abuse connection. Alcohol drug abuse risk markers studied. Stress, emotional, mood trauma, and post-traumatic stress disorder, including stress, trauma and PTSD, masculine gender role stress, emotions, and mood states. Biology and genetic issues discussed include biological hormone studies, genetic studies, sex differences in the brain dysfunction, PET scan of batterers. Personality disorders discussed include psychopathology, mental illness among batterers, mentally ill, and criminal MFIPV offenders. Similarities and differences between partner violent-only men and other violent men include differences in targets, victims, social and behavioral differences. Typology of male MFIPV perpetrators. Issues include Holtzman, Monroe, and Stewart typology study of 1994, sexually violent-only men, testing Holtz, Monroe, and Stewart study, and evaluating typologies. Male-to-female intimate partner abuse, FMIPV. Issues discussed by your textbook include self-defensive female violence, also called violence-resistant VR, motives for MFIPV, including anger among female offenders, violence of battered female victims, and female-to-male partner control. Correlates of female-to-male IVP issues discussed include childhood abuse and later perpetration of FMIPV and jealousy and FMIVP. Male-to-female intimate partner abuse, FMIVP, issues discussed include powerlessness, suicide depression, and attachment styles. Also discussed, battered women who kill, including the battered woman syndrome. That concludes this narrated version of this PowerPoint